Hi, hello, how are you all doing today? So let me first say this. I usually, for some reason, I don't know what it is, I think it's some divine intervention. When I say that, I really do mean this. I have no clue, but I do know this. I have impeccable timing when it comes to certain aspects of my life. And I don't mean like I could call it like then it happens. I don't mean that at all. I just mean when like throughout random moments, like I could just be, like just chilling, doing something, leave said specific area, and then once I'm done with it, then like something happens in that specific area and I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. Like a good thing I wasn't there. Or like, man, I made it out just in time. Or gosh darn, that was almost close. Like, so it was usually something like, that in that light. Other times, though, it could also be in a positive, like, insight. I have a story where I really didn't. It's a dumb story, I know, but it revolved around the idea of paying taxes. Now, I mostly sales tax. Now, I'll get to that story later on. But that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. But for the most part, usually everything is like, perfectly fine. However, just recently, within the past like couple days ago or whatever, that wasn't the case at all. Like the timing was not perfect. It was actually the complete opposite. So through the title and thumbnail, I fell really badly from the top of a staircase all the way to the ground floor. It was absolutely terrible. That's where this video is going to be me talking about that, because I got really fucking hurt whenever that happened. Thankfully, like, let me just tell the story how it ended. Like, don't worry, I'm okay, everything's fine. But during the process and during it happening, I legitimately thought that I broke my hand and that my entire right side of my body, specifically my thigh down here, was completely eviscerated. Like, I was just like shot because it was in utter pain, specifically the hand too. I thought I broke my hand. But anyways, so this all happened, right? Let me just give this some quick backstory. So it's a normal day where I'm at. I'm making a drink. It's like the morning or some shit. I really don't know. I really don't care. But I remember the little ones, the kids here. I remember the little ones came up and they said, we want to go play outside. I said, yeah, sure thing. Go tell your parents and then I'll take you outside. You guys go play. They got excited. They went up. End of the story. They got dressed. They went outside and I took I think 4 of them outside. I don't remember. Yeah, so I took the 4 of them outside. They wanted to go play. They wanted to have fun. They wanted to play in the snow because it was snowing outside. They want to play in the trampoline. They wanted to climb some shit. They wanted, doing kid shit, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me just go help them out. Let me just go watch over them, making sure a fucking owl doesn't come from God knows where and takes one of them away. Okay, it's like, basic adulting shit where it's like you make sure a kid doesn't get kidnapped by a fucking fox. So I do that type of thing, and I'm just chilling there. I'm playing with the little ones. I'm making jokes. I'm laughing. I'm watching them play. They want me to see some stuff. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm watching them, right? Everything's all going good. Sure, there's a few moments where I had to go back and forth up the stairs or whatever. Now this I'll start right here. We were out there for say 2 hours, right? Max 2 hours. I'm being real liberal with this. Maybe max 2 hours. And during that process, 2 of them already went inside because they wanted to warm up because it was too cold. I'm like, okay, cool. I pick one up, take one inside because they're too little, and then the other 2 are outside playing trampoline, right? Everything's going good. Now, keep in mind, I am not good when it comes to traversing obstacles within like snow. Like I'm not good with snow. I'm not good with ice. I'm not good with that. My body isn't meant for that. Listen, if it's a desert, I'm perfectly fine. I could deal with that. Because if it's a hot, like humid, ugly, like, day or whatever near the coast and it's just like boiling heat outside, I'll still wear a hoodie and walk from like, like a mile from, where I go to school at to my house. Like it's perfectly fine. Like everything's good, right? Or half a mile. I really don't care. So, well, I was one of those type of individuals back then, and still kind of am. So because of that, I was like, okay, let me just like, nonchalantly go outside, walk down the stairs, because I see the two play on the trampoline. These two are a little older, so I'm like, okay, hey, in my mind, I'm like, hey, let me be on the trampoline, let me bounce around, let me have some fun too, fuck it. And so I end up stepping on the top of the staircase, and as soon as I get on the top of the staircase and to go downwards, immediately I was on the floor, on the ground floor, just in the split, second. Like it was instant. There was no like in between. It was just I was up there and I was on the floor and I was in excruciating pain. It was that simple, right? Now, the best way I can equate it was that my mind went through a state of flight or fight, because I don't remember a single thing that happened from the instant I was up there to the instant I was on the floor. I just know that during that time period, I also used my right hand to grab onto anything, the wood, the fucking ice, the little metal bars, bullshit, whatever. I'm grabbing on anything to try to grab myself up. I know this because my hand was in excruciating pain. It has small little cuts on it. It has like small little cuts and bruises. Don't worry, it healed up, because I was extremely terrified. As soon as I fell on the floor, I immediately bounced back up, started cursing, of course, waddled over to the trampoline. The little ones are freaking out because they're like, oh my god, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. So I'm not okay. So I go, my mind's still running off of adrenaline. I go to the trampoline and I'm thinking, let me just lay on the trampoline to heal up, because it was just, a normal fall. Realized that was a bad idea. So instead of getting on the trampoline, picked myself up, waddled back to the staircase, held on tight the whole way through, went up the staircase, went to the living room, I was like, okay, now that I'm inside, I'm gonna lay on the floor, because I can't lay anywhere else because I don't want to. So I was just, my mind was rolling, okay? So I lay on the carpet, I'm laying there, I'm in pain. That's literally it. Now, for those of you who are curious, I don't have video at all. Wish I did. But instead, I have an artist rendition of what is about to happen.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, as you could see, that happened. So anyways, from that quick little artist rendition of what happened, that's basically how, I ended up, in excruciating pain. And once I got healed up and everything was like okay, and the pain, I was tolerable on the floor or the ground, I then, picked myself up, because I also got a heating pad. I had some help from, other people that live here to help me out. I was real thankful. I was extremely thankful. Got the heating pad, picked myself up once everyone settled down, because everyone thought I was gonna die. I was like, I'm not gonna die yet, okay? So I picked myself up, waddled downstairs, and then that's whenever the story basically ends. I go downstairs and I am there, and that's where I, kind of just let everything out. I'm in pain. So during that period, I don't like taking medicine, so to be real honest with you. I hate fucking medicines in general. I don't like it. That's just me personally. I don't like doing that. So instead, I took the complete opposite. I took a lot of CBD, I took a lot of kratom, and then I also made some liquid IVs to get some liquid inside of me. I had help, of course, from the greatest people on the planet, my mom. And because of that, everything was chilling, and I was relieving myself of this pain. Now, as the days went on, let it be known, I could not move my leg that much. The rotations that I couldn't really do it. By the end of the day of the first thing that happened, I was able to gain strength back into my hand, because that was what I was most worried about. I was worried that I broke my fucking hand, and I was also worried that I broke or tore or pulled something else in my leg or whatever, because I didn't fall on my back or my butt. I fell on my thigh the whole way through. My right thigh took the entire brunt of the force the whole way through. Of course, my right hand took a lot of brunt too, because it was trying to grab onto anything to save my fucking soul. But my thigh mostly took the brunt of the force. Literally, I mean my entire thigh took the brunt of the force. I don't know if you could tell, because I won't show y'all at all. I don't want to, and I know I'm not in frame. But it was this whole general area that took the brunt of the force right here. I'm not going to show you actually because that's weird. I don't want to show my bare skin, my lower body on, camera. And plus, it is disgusting. It is literally just black and purple the whole way through. And also, it is very painful too. Like I feel like as I'm rubbing against it, I do feel like the sharp, like the needle, like feeling of because it's just super sore. It's just sore and bruised. So that will be there for like maybe a week or two. But nonetheless, the swelling did go down tremendously. And then also I could still move my body around. I'm able to put weight on my leg. I'm able to like move my leg in different yoga positions and whatever, like when I'm laying down and lift my feet up or legs up all the way touching the ceiling. Like, we're good. Don't worry, everything's fine. However, because the whole fall incident happened within a split second, I want you to know that during that second when I'm on the ground floor outside in the backyard in like utter pain and I'm like walking around trying to like recuperate, I want you to know that the first thing that goes through my mind is shit, I can't work out anymore, and shit, I can't play volleyball anymore. That was literally the first thing that entered my mind. Not that, oh man, I hope I'm okay, or oh man, I took a fall, or oh man, like something, right? XYZ. Like, no. It was shit, I can't play volleyball anymore. Because I thought I fucked myself up like tremendously, irreparable damage. Like, I thought I really destroyed myself because it was an ugly, nasty fall. You saw in the artist's rendition. So because of that, I was tremendously afraid that I couldn't work out and play anymore. Thankfully, I explained this to my mom, right? I explained this to my mom, and now everyone else that watches my little videos, you also you'll know this too. Once everything settled down and once the water settled and all the muck and gunk settled and the water was clear and flowing again and I was in here sitting down, I explained to my mom this. I said, we have to be thankful because for one reason, it sounds stupid, I know, but I said we got to be extremely thankful that I do my workouts and I specifically target my lower body, okay? A lot of squats. But because of that, my thighs have gotten bigger and my lower body has gotten bigger, and because of that, now during that fall, it wasn't just straight bone and thin layer of fat and muscle. Instead, it was thick layer of muscle and fat, and also hardly anything hit the bones. I didn't get bone bruises or whatever, right? And because it was just mostly the meat that got hit, that took the brunt of the force. And it was I'm already preparing with workouts and shit like that. My lower body can take damage. This was a lot of damage I took. You saw in artist's rendition. So I'm extremely thankful for that. I am also really thankful I didn't land or fall anywhere else in my body, because the upper body, I don't really do that much with the upper body. I'll be real honest with you. I only focus on lower body. Why? That's my preference and that's my opinion and that's what I like doing. But I do still do some upper stuff with the upper body, of course. You know how it goes. Some core, strengthening. But I do know that if I would have fallen, on my back, on my side, on my arms, or anywhere else upper here or whatever, things would have been a lot worse. They would have been tremendously terrible. I would have been in even more pain, or better yet, something could have snapped. I'm also glad that I didn't stick my hand in one of those poles or whatever and just broke, it could have snapped it. That could have been bad too. That was an incident that could have happened actually whenever I was in a city before. That's a whole other story. But nonetheless, I'm glad that everything, everything worked out. Everything's fine. I want you to know I don't know why I'm just messing with this. This kind of just got my attention. Hey, look. I'm glad everything worked out for the best. I'm glad nothing really truly hardcore happened. I was during the whole time and healing process whenever I was laying here, putting on icy hot, heating pads, colds, things to take down swelling, also the supplements, vitamins, whatever. During that time period, I remember in my mind just thinking of Miyamoto Musashi for some reason. Why? I'm gonna talk about him in the next video. But he has been going through my mind recently, specifically about how I've just gotta accept it for what it is and just acceptance for what it is in your situation. No matter what happened, it happened, and we just gotta deal with it, move on. And we also gotta realize that life is painful and life is hard and it's gonna be fucking terrible sometimes. But we just gotta accept it, and that's if it's how we handle it is how we get better. Thankfully, I don't worry. I only cried at the end, but nonetheless, throughout the whole process, I was good. So everything is perfectly fine. So nonetheless, that's a quick story for one I bring up. I'm probably talk about this in the far future, but nonetheless, thank you all again for watching my little channel. Thank you for subscribing and looking and watching me ramble about stories and shit. Listen, I know I'm not that exciting, but I am thankful for the people that do stick around. We'll grow eventually. We're a lo-fi channel. I'm perfectly happy, with where we're at, and I'm gonna be happy with every slow incremental progress we make. Have a great night.